My particular take on the seafarers ministry is perhaps influenced by my father, who was a very ecumenical person. He was a man among men. He didn't preach at people. And so that's something that I admire about the mission today, that it approaches and helps people without faith or of any faith. And that to me is essential in this day and age, that we have that sort of support for seafarers who are mostly today from overseas countries rather than from Australia, and are really vital to our supply lines to the rest of the world.
Yeah, really well said. Yeah. I mean, I think you've covered most of these. Just quickly, do you have a story or a special memory from your time with the mission? Putting you on the spot here.
I suppose at a very young age, my father drew my attention to the fact that during wartime, and you know, he was a wartime chaplain, that it was the merchant ships that were always the target of enemy action. The enemy tried to avoid our warships and focused on our troop carriers and but on our merchant seafarers, merchant ships, I should say. So it was the merchant seafarers who were the most vulnerable in the sea during warfare. So that possibly is something that's stuck in my mind since a very young age. In retirement, it gives me something to do. But yeah, I mean, I was a trustee of the Bedford Union for 30 years while I was trying to run an architectural practice. Yeah, it's just a very worthwhile cause, which I've said is low profile, I think, in the scene. I mean, we haven't heard, in the recent federal election campaign, I've heard nothing about welfare of seafarers.